You got this until you don't. Today's video is why you need a agent representing you as a buyer. Call that buyer's agency. So I'm just going to take just a couple minutes, kind of run through this list. This kind of came out of the listing I had a couple weeks ago. Had someone interested and uh, didn't have an agent representing them. Had talked to an agent, but didn't have anyone representing them, and wanted to try to do it on their own. And started talking about the contract, and they're like, well, I just don't know this, and I'm gonna have to think about this for a little while. So I thought I'd make you a video just for some things for you to think about on how a buyer's agent helps you. Um, as always, appreciate you guys watching the videos. If you're watching this on YouTube, appreciate that subscribe, or even, Facebook, just a little reaction there or something like that. Would appreciate it. Um, First off, that buyer's agent is exclusively working for you. Um, Typically, finding a home on an MLS, that seller's going to have an agent working exclusively for them. So in terms of negotiations and things like that, you should have someone who's experienced doing this day in and day out, that's exclusively looking out for your best interest. Another little tidbit that's good to know: the commission that's get paid to the buyer's agent is paid by the seller. That's outlined in the listing contracts. We can talk more about that when we sit down and talk about that in person, a little bit more about how that works. But that's buyer's agent gets paid basically by the seller. Um, some things to think about. That contract's a big deal, and there's all kinds of things in there. Our contract that we use is 8 pages. On that listing that I mentioned a few minutes ago, someone tried to slip something in on title work saying that the seller would pay for the buyer's title work. Well, if you didn't have an agent working for you, you would have easily net a few $100s less. If you didn't have someone catching that, if you didn't know what to look out for. The other thing, do you know how inspections are handled? How long do you have for inspections? What's the options on inspections? How can it fall through due to inspections? Financing. What's the contingencies on financing? What type of financing are they using? Will that work for your house? One of the big things really in this market about a buyer's agent is advising you on how to make your offer as strong as you can. Because there's so much competition out there. Really good homes going to draw lots of eyes. So it's very important to have a buyer's agent that's experienced, that does this day in and day out, and can tell you how to make a strong offer without putting you in a bad position for owning the home. If they just tell you, well, you need to offer $100,000 over the list price, yeah, you probably get the house, but that might not be in your best interest. So you need to make sure you have things together like pre-approval at a minimum, and your agent submits that pre-approval letter. It'd be great for that pre-approval letter to come from a local lender that's got a good reputation that listing agent's likely to know. Some proof of funds. You could have just a letter from your bank that says, "Yep, this person has sufficient funds in their account for the purchase of, or for a purchase of up to this amount," something like that. Um, you know, what info do you know about the property that you could use to make your offer stronger? Just different things that they can be talking to you about, that they can advise you on what you can do to make your offer stand out above others. And then what's that agent doing to help you with the offer is another big thing. So there's all kinds of things to think about, and lots of ways that an agent really should be helping you. I specifically tell my clients, whether I'm working with the seller or the buyer, that I give them information to help them make decisions that they need to make. Based on my experience, what I see, here's what I can tell you, and then hopefully that can give you some information to help you make decisions you need to make as you're thinking through this process. So hope you guys are well. As always, I'd love to get some coffee with you or just have some conversations. If you have goals of 2022 of buying or selling real estate or even investing, let's talk about how you can put the equity that you have in your house to work for you. I'd love to have those conversations. So reach out to me, 417-766-4507. Andy with Keller Williams. Hope 2021 is ending on a great note for you. Thanks.